Welcome to the 2020 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Yeast Experiment. Brought to you by our proud sponsors. Woody's Homebrew Store. Use code BREWTUBERS for 10% off your entire order and get free shipping on any order over $58. Go to www.woodyshomebrew.com. Imperial Yeast, a half stainless steel mash panel sponsor of the Brewtubers Online Brewers Club and official yeast provider of the Yeast Experiment. Imperial Yeast offers brewers of all sizes access to world-class yeast and the best possible customer and technical support. Be sure to grab a pack or two now at your local homebrew shop or Woody's Homebrew. And lastly, Hopsteiner, the official hops provider of the 2020 Yeast Experiment. Get brewing.
Hey guys, it's Jerry from adventuresinhomebrewing.beer, and this is the first one of a few different review videos. I'm going to be going through and reviewing the fruits of our labor. So with this beer, this is my version of the Brewtubers Yeast Experiment 2020. This is Berserk in BTYE 2020. So this is made with the Maniacal Labs Berserker yeast. You can see a nice color to it and everything. Has a nice West Coasty and everything. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of compare this one. I just grabbed one of the other bottles. So everybody shipped all their bottles to a central hub, and then we got bottles and cans of everybody's version. So this one is from the Cooper Brewing Company, the Cooper Brew Company, and this is the Brewtubers Yeast Experiment 2020. This was brewed with the Imperial A24 dry hop. So Imperial was one of the sponsors for this yeast experiment, which is really cool. I received the shipment and went through and did some chilling. So you know, so I can go through and do some comparisons. I've got another tasting glass here. You know, it's horrible. I gotta drink beer throughout this whole process. So first thing I'm noticing is mine's a darker color, much hazier, although this has a nice golden color to it. It's much more translucent. I won't call it transparent, but translucent. Definitely has a different smell. So this is the Imperial dry hop yeast. I've used this before in a nice pale ale that I made. So I have used this yeast before. Imperial makes some great stuff. They've got some nice packs for you to go through and do. So that's much different. It's got a nice citrusy element to it. I'm going to try mine now. Different smell. Mine's got a little bit more of a, not as a crisp. So I feel like this is a crisper flavor. The body's a little bit different. Could have a little bit more carbonation in it too. I'm finding the citrus flavors a little bit more prevalent in this version with the dry hop yeast. So basically the premise that we're supposed to be doing for this experiment is, as we go through and we try the different beers that all have the same recipe, but you can tell right away that these beers are very different with the different yeast, is we're supposed to kind of give ourselves some notes about the yeast and how it works with the style. So this is moving more towards a West Coast IPA, in my personal opinion. So it is a little bit different than when I used the dry hop yeast in the past. So there's a little bit more bitterness that we're going to catch in it, but there's a great citrus. It's a nice smell, it's a nice citrus. This is a very crisp beer. The lacing is there, not really a ton of lacing, but oh, I'm going to enjoy drinking the rest of this. So compared to my version with the Maniacal Lab, mine almost feels a little bit more softer. It doesn't have the same citrus forward that I'm catching with the A24 dry hop. So yeah, so there we go. There's two beers. Keep your eyes open for other Brewtubers Yeast Experiment 2020 videos. So I'll be going through and doing some comparison, and you know, the downfall is I gotta drink beer. So that's the great thing about this. And with that, hope you have a great night, and cheers, my friends. Hey, we're back. This time we have the Hokie Homebrew. This is made with Wyeast 1450, which is Denny's favorite 50. And we're going to do a little testing here. Nice cap, Hokie's Homebrew. So it's pretty translucent when you compare it to mine made with the Maniacal yeast. Mine's definitely much more cloudy. Has a great smell. That's a great thing about this experiment is, you know, the ingredients are the same, and you get a chance to try some different things. More floral, a little bit of citrus in there. It's a little bit more bitterness on bite on it than mine. Well, let me just try to make sure. It's a different bitterness. Mine does have just a touch of bitterness. It's a different bitterness. This one is pretty crisp. But what can I say? This whole experiment is all about enjoying some tasty beer. Cheers, and we'll get some write-ups on the different yeasts. Again, this one is Denny's favorite 50. It's a Wyeast 1450. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of this. Cheers. Alright guys, let's see. Today we have the Imperial A20 citrus yeast. Imperial was actually one of our sponsors for this Yeast Experiment 2020. This one is put out to us from Andrew. So let's crack her open, because after all, it's beer o'clock somewhere. Okay, so first of all, there we go. Let's see. Got mine here. A little bit more citrusy smell. Looking at the colors, mine's got a little bit more haze, so this is not as hazy. Not completely translucent, but yeah. I keep smelling this stuff. It smells great. Okay, let's give it a shot. So this is the A20 citrus yeast. More crisp, little less body. A lot more citrusy, just like the name says. So, just to make sure. Yeah, definitely different. This seems to be more of a West Coast ale, a West Coast IPA to me than mine with the Kvike blend. Nice citrus on it. I really enjoy that. That's really good. So yeah, so Imperial A20 citrus yeast. Nice color to it. Well done, Andrew, and we'll see you next time. Hey everybody, it's time for yet another Yeast Experiment 2020 beer review for the Brewtubers Yeast Experiment. Here's what we got this time. So this one is from Wrecked Brewing. Nice little logo down there. This one is made with the Omega Yeast 200, which is the tropical yeast, the tropical IPA. So this one went from 1.065 for original gravity down to 1.008. So I believe this might be one of the lowest for the final gravity, one of the ones that fermented out the most. So this one rings in at 7.5. It's a little bit higher than the one that I brewed. It's always great when, there we go, when your bottle opener doesn't open right. So there's the tropical IPA. There is the Berserker blend from Maniacal Yeast. You can see that they're pretty similar in color and translucency. It's a higher final gravity. So let's see. So with the lower final gravity, I'm gonna guess that this is gonna be a little bit crisper. When I was reading up on some notes on this, it says this produces a delicate, tart, tropical mango and pineapple fruit characteristic with a clean finish. Well, with a nice low final gravity, I would hope that it gives a nice, clean finish. So, oh, that's very crisp. Does seem to be a little bit more tart than mine. It is. It's really tasty though. That's the thing with this yeast experiment is we've got all these beers with the same recipe. They're all really tasty. It's not a popularity contest, but rather it's let's look and see what the yeast is going to do. So I think tasting this one with the tropical yeast, if you want to get a low final gravity that's nice and crisp, this seems to be a good choice. It does have a different aroma as well. More pronounced with those yummy. So yeah, Wrecked Brewery, great job, and until we drink again, my friends.